portion, and He is our prize. Drawn to redemption by the grace in His eyes. If grace is an ocean, we're all sinking. Heaven meets earth like an unforeseen kiss, and my heart turns violently inside of my chest. I don't have time to maintain these regrets when I think about the way that He loves us. Oh, how He loves us. Oh, how He loves us. Oh, how He loves. Yeah, He loves us. Oh, how He loves us. Oh, how He loves us. Oh, how He So this week in my house, for those of you who know me, I have 3 kids. They're pretty wild sometimes. And excuse me, my voice is going out. But this week, my wife and I were in the kitchen. She was cooking dinner, and all of a sudden we heard this crying and wailing coming from the playroom. And we go in there, and my oldest son, Luke, had somehow smashed his toe. And it was one of those where if you've ever smashed your toe or smashed your finger where you have blood underneath the nail, and if you've ever done it, it's painful. I mean, so I sympathize with the guy, even though his pain tolerance is really, really low. but I did. My heart hurt for him because I know how much it hurts. And so, you know, you're trying to help him as a parent, and he runs upstairs to his room and he closes his door, and he just wanted to be alone. And so I went in and I tried to talk to him. I was like, "Hey, bud, let me try to help you. We can try to do something with, we can try to fix it." And he's like, No, don't touch it. Don't touch it. So we went down, we ate dinner, and he just stayed in his room. And so I went back up and I said, "Hey, bud, when I was little, this happened to me. I dropped a piece of firewood on my toe. And my dad came to me and he took a tiny little drill bit. And my dad drilled a hole through my fingernail." And Luke goes, "No, not through my finger, no." And so I looked at him and I said, hey, not through your finger, through your fingernail. And I looked at him, I said, "Luke, do you trust me?" And he goes, "No." So I took the drill bit and I've actually got a little indentation here on my fingernail. And I said, "Look," so I started on my finger. It's like, "It doesn't hurt." And I said, "Do you trust me?" And he looked at me, he goes, "Okay." And so I took the drill bit, and it took all of 3 minutes. We just drilled a tiny little hole, and it released the blood from under his toe, and he had immediate relief. If you've ever done that before, you know what it feels like. It's like instant relief. So we put a Band-Aid on it, cleaned him up, and I walked downstairs, and Sarah was giving the kids a bath, and I was cleaning up the kitchen from dinner, and I was standing at the sink, and the Lord spoke to me in that moment. He said, "You're a lot like that sometimes." And I said, "Explain, Lord, what do you mean?" And he said, "A lot of times in your life, when stuff feels out of control, when you feel like you don't have a handle on what's going on around you," he said, "I ask you, do you trust me?" And you say, "No." And then he asks again, "Do you trust me?" And if you've ever been in that place in your life where everything seems to be out of control, and you finally lean in and you say, "Okay, Lord, I trust you," there's a peace that comes in that trust when you say, "Okay, Lord, I'm going to let you do what you're going to do." And this is Psalm 37. It says, "Trust in the Lord and do good. Then you will live safely in the land and prosper. Take delight in the Lord, and He'll give you your heart's desires. Commit everything you do to the Lord. Trust Him, and He will act." So I want to encourage you this morning. I don't know what's going on with you, But maybe you're in that place this morning where everything feels out of control and you feel like you don't have a handle on it this morning. I want to encourage you this morning to lean in because he's trustworthy and he is faithful. And when you lean into him, there's a peace that comes with that. And he will overwhelm you with his peace this morning. So, Father, we just thank you that you are a trustworthy, faithful God. We thank you that you love us so much that you gave your son for us. God, we thank you for your love that you poured out for us. God, that we can look at you and say, God, we love you, we trust you. So I pray over our people here this morning. God, if you're in that situation this morning, I encourage you this morning just to release it to the Lord and say, God, whatever my situation is, I release it to you. Lord, I trust you. So we thank you for that this morning. When we sing this, and we are his portion and he is our prize, drawn to redemption by the grace in his eyes. If grace is an ocean, we're all sinking. Heaven meets earth like an unforeseen kiss, and my heart turns violently inside of my chest. And I don't have time to maintain these regrets when I think about the way that he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Yeah, he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves. Yeah, he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves. One more time we sing that. Yeah, he loves us.